everybody. Welcome to Set Up and Score. My name is Leigh. I'm the Head of Customer Success at ScoreApp. I have my colleague Sarah with me. Sarah is here to help. If you've got any questions that you want to post in the chat, feel free to do so. Equally, we want it to be a very interactive session today, so please feel free to take your mic off at any time and just ask questions as we go throughout. So today's session, we're going to cover creating a scorecard, what makes a successful scorecard. We're going to dive into building it, launching it, and optimizing it as well. So we're going to do it in stages. I'm just waiting a few more seconds for everybody to join. So welcome if you've just joined us. While we are waiting, if you're able to just pop in the chat whereabouts you are in the process at the moment, that gives me a really good idea of where everyone is. So it may be that you haven't started yet. It may be that you've launched or you've started building. So just a little idea would be perfect. So hi, David. You've not started yet. Welcome to the session. Hi, Jean. So about 70% through. Fantastic. So Way, hopefully I've said that right. Not yet started. Alice, hi. Same here. Just joined last week. Great. So it's fantastic to have you on board. Mark, you've launched last week, so fairly new. So that's great. I hope it's going well. And maybe we'll see more of what you've created later on. Dawn had a great session with Sarah yesterday. Oh, fantastic. I'm a good way through, need to clean up. Oh, fantastic. You've just come in from a jog. That's very virtuous. Well done. Okay, so that's good. We've got some people across all stages. So let's dive in and get started. Before we come to the actual platform, I just want to share my screen. It's not very slide intensive today at all. But just to get us started, I wanted to go through, just need to make that a little bit bigger, what ScoreApp can be used for. So primarily, we talk about lead generation in terms of what your scorecard can be used for. Equally, we have lots of customers that use it for qualifying leads. So that just might be a warmer audience where you use the data to be able to select who your ideal clients would be. So you can focus your efforts there. And we also have customers who use it for onboarding or even benchmarking customers. I've had a couple of use cases recently where companies have used it to assess how many of the products and services their customers are using, see if there's any other opportunities they can recommend to that customer to get the most out of the products or services. So there is a variety. So it's good to have all of that in mind as we go through the session. So what we're really going to talk about today, we're going to focus some time on the landing page, making sure that it's got all the best practice elements in it. We're going to talk about questions and scoring, and also the results, so what we should deliver when it comes to the results. And then finally, we'll talk through promoting and the follow-up sequences as well. What makes a successful scorecard? That's where we're starting today. And it's what we recommend as the most successful element is when you get that concept right for your scorecard. Now, I'm talking more in the lead generation sense, but that concept we recommend is aligned with that common desire or that common goal from your target audience. And therefore, that leads into my second point. So it really then has a mutual value exchange. So when they take your scorecard, it's all about how it's going to help them. They gain that clarity through the score or through the outcome at the end. And then they get all of your great hints and tips that's going to help them continue to work towards that goal. And in return, you will get the lead data and all the insight that you've gathered. You can also personalize the follow-up sequences because you've got all this great data and insight on them. It allows you to put them into funnels, or even just use that data to make sure that you're meeting that person where they are, and sending them on the right track for the solution for them. We then need, once we've created a great scorecard that is aligned with their common desire, we need a strategy to drive traffic towards it. So we need to make sure we're sending the right people to the scorecard. And then finally, the follow-up sequence. So once you've generated all these leads, it's the process then of converting those leads into sales. And we'll cover all of these in more detail as we go through. So the concept obviously is the idea for your scorecard, and then we have to turn that into a hook, which is going to be the headline that's really going to entice people to take the scorecard. When we're thinking about the concept, when we're thinking about the hook, we've got some ideas that might help with that. So going back to that common desire or goal, we've got some examples here. So the key person of influence scorecard, where the desire there is to be the key person of influence. We've got the high performing team scorecard, the beach ready scorecard. So it's basically the desire with the name scorecard on the end. And it may be that your scorecard isn't the right terminology for you. Maybe it's quiz, maybe it's assessment, maybe it's health check. We tend to use the word scorecard a lot, but it is relevant to your target audience as to what is going to resonate the best. So flipping it round from that desire or goal is to focus on the pain or frustration. So we've got some examples here, avoid being hacked scorecard, a fitness injury prevention scorecard, avoid burnout scorecard. So there's some great examples of how it can be used in that way. Couple more suggestions. Are you ready to? And then you would insert the name of your concept. So this works nicely for brainstorming. So are you ready to run a marathon? Take the scorecard. At the end, they're obviously going to get their score, and they're going to find out what area they need to focus on to make sure that they are ready to run that marathon. So you could try that. Are you ready to something, and then put your concept in its place. You may find that you have a topical or seasonal concept for your scorecard. So if you're supporting a new product launch, you've got a guest speaker, something trendy or newsworthy. So something, for example, that's trending at the moment is obviously AI. So are you ready to embrace AI? Topical concepts work really nicely. And then the final one is that it may be that you don't want to deliver a score, and instead you want to deliver an outcome, which you can do with ScoreApp. And these suit sort of personality type quizzes. So, are you an introvert or an extrovert? We've got a template that you can use on the platform, which is discover your budgeting personality style. And the outcome of that is you're going to be a relaxed budgeter, a conscious budgeter, and you're able to tailor the advice that you give to someone based on somebody's personality style. So they're always quite nice, interesting quizzes to set up as well. Now that we've gone through those examples, I just wondered if you're able to pop in the chat. If you've already launched, you could just pop in what your concept or your headline is. If this has sparked some ideas for you and you're able to share in the chat some ideas for your headline or concept, that would be really useful for everyone here, so we can start to get some use cases for it. And I'm also going to show you as well, after we've shared some examples, is how we can use the AI setup wizard to help with concepts as well. So Mark, find out how resilient your business is to ride out challenging times. Yep, absolutely. So is your business ready? Or discover your business resilience score could be a potential headline that you package that up into. I'm looking to attract investors. So, the investor ready scorecard. Is your business ready for investment? And you could say, take the checklist, find out. Are you an impactful communicator in English? Yes. So are you an impactful communicator in English? So the successful communication, the scorecard, I'm thinking of some ideas for some headlines there. Donnie, you've just started mine. How dependent are you on your salary? Yeah, really interesting. That would be thought-provoking. So I like that as a concept. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing those. Now I'm just going to share my screen again. And what's going to help further with these concepts is the new AI Setup Wizard. So this is a new tool that we have integrated into the platform, which we're very pleased to be able to launch. It is in beta mode at the moment. So we've invited groups of customers to join the beta version. If we have got a wait list, so if you haven't got access and you would like access, Sarah, if you're happy to share the link for that, please do register for the wait list and you will be invited to use that particular tool. So I'm going to show you through that now. Okay, so here's one I started earlier, but I want to start from the beginning. So bear with me, here we go. So when you click on Create Scorecard, you're going to get these presented with these three options. So you can start from scratch, which if you've got your own questions, your own concept, and you've got that information, then that'd be the recommended route that I suggest for you. If we've also got the next option, which is to pick a template. Now we've got a number of templates here. And again, if there's a version that's really closely aligned with what you would like to base your scorecard on, then that can be a great way to get started because it already includes a great looking landing page. It's got the questions and content in there, which you can tweak. And anything that I cover here will talk you through how to do that. And then you will get that third option once you've got access to use the AI Setup Wizard. So that's what I'm going to select today. I'm going to click on Get Started. So it asks you what your goal is, whether you want to generate new leads, qualify and convert existing leads to sales, or improve existing client results. I'm going to select Generate New Leads for this demonstration. And then you can choose what format you would like ScoreApp to deliver the feedback in. And you can select one overall score. So that might suit if you're developing a really quick fire sort of cold lead scorecard. You've got 8 to 12 questions. You just want to deliver an overall score with a "you've done great" or, you know, "we can help you improve your score" message. Then we've got the example we just talked about as in the single outcome, which is the personality style. So that would be the one that you'd select. And then we've got multiple scores, which is what we tend to see a lot of. So that allows you to add categories. So you'd give an overall score, but then also be able to give a score and dynamic feedback per category as well. So I am going to select that version. I can then describe my business. So I am going to say I am a career coach for this demo. I'm going to click on Next. I can then describe my target audience. If it's not quite there, I can load some suggestions. And I'm actually going to say, how would you describe it? So actually, it's mid-career professionals. That's my target audience. Click on Next. And I'm going to say job satisfaction is what I'm helping my clients to improve. And then it suggests some concepts. So unlock your dream career. Immediately, that seems like a great concept, which we can use, which will hook people in. So I like that one. Obviously, I can get more suggestions if I want to. So I click on Next. Once I've got that, it's going to suggest some categories that I could use. So I'm just going to select 2 because I'm just demoing. So career goals and passion analysis. Once I've chosen my categories, I can then go through and it will suggest questions as well. So you can already see how this does a lot of the heavy lifting out of creating the scorecard for you. Do you have a clear vision of your dream career? I'm going to add that one. Do you network with professionals in your desired industry? I'm going to add that one. Brilliant. And I'm going to go to next. So I've got 2 questions in my career goals, and now I'm going to select 2 questions for my passion analysis category as well. That's just a few more stages left, and then we will have our draft of our scorecard. So do I feel excited about going to work each day? Of course I do. Do you feel like your job allows you to use your strengths? So we've just got 2 questions there as well. And click next. So it's just giving me a summary of everything we've just added. And then I can click on create my scorecard. Oh, it's written 688 words, which has saved me all those hours. Congratulations, your scorecard is ready. View your scorecard. And here we go. So now we have this draft scorecard that we're able to tailor. The main way we're going to tailor it is by coming to this build icon here. And that now gives us a list of all the elements we can work on. We're going to start on the landing page today. And this little square box with the arrow pointing out, if we click on that, it takes us to the landing page. So you can see we've got our headline, unlock your dream career, take our quiz now. We've got answer 4 questions. We'll send you your personalized report. And then we've got some of the why. So are you feeling stuck in your current job? Do you want to find your career that aligns with your passions or goals? Look no further. So it's already we're off to a great start with this landing page. We can add loads more to it. And I'm going to talk you through how we're going to do that. So your URL, before I talk through how to do that, is up here. And it will immediately just assign the account name with some jumbled up letters. So I would recommend that you go in and you change that before you start driving traffic towards it. And you will find that under settings, you will find the ability to customize the initial section before .scoreapp.com. And if you're on the advanced package upwards, you will also have the option of including a custom domain name, which you can come and organize under your accounts and select domains. Lovely. Going back to the landing page. So what we need to do is we need to open up the landing page editor just by clicking on it. And then we can start to add sections and customize the sections. The first one I want to do is I want to unhide the header section. So I'm just the eye is the icon that allows you to hide something. So if I click on it, it will reveal it again. And then when I click on the actual section type, I can start to upload a logo now, which you can upload from your files, or you can add an image. So I'm just going to add a percentage just to make it nice and easy. So I'm just imagining that this is my logo here. And then once you've selected it, if you click on style, you'll have some further formatting options. So you can choose to position it left, center, or right. You can choose to make it larger or smaller. And you can also choose to feature it inside that first section should you wish to. So you can see that each section has got all of the formatting options for you to be able to go in and make any amends that you'd like it to. It may be that you want a different banner style completely. And in that case, you can go to add a section and you can view all the available banner styles. You could also, we've got a number of other sections as well. So you could add some testimonials to your landing page. You could talk about the categories that people will be measured based upon. We have the ability to add videos to your landing page. And we also have various other content sections you could add, which would be suitable for explaining how it works, how it's going to help them, who's created the scorecard. So there's a number of sections. Once you click on that section, it will be added to your template. And you can start to move them around by hovering over the section name. You will notice 6 dots, which you can use then to drag and drop into position. You'll be able to view how your landing page looks on mobile as well as desktop. So you can make sure that it's optimized for both. So that covers the kind of technical aspects of building your landing page. I now want to talk through some best practice for that landing page. And then if anyone has any examples that they'd be happy to share with us, that would also be really useful. So landing pages. What we'd like to see on the landing page is that clear, credible, and interesting copy, stating how long it's going to take. So that could be the number of questions or the physical time. So answer 10 questions in less than 60 seconds. So people know how much time they need to invest in it. Be clear on what they will get from taking the scorecard. And this isn't a physical prize, or it may be if you're offering something, but it's the prize of, you know, how it's going to help them, almost like the why of the scorecard. Keeping your branding consistent on your landing page through to your questions, through to your results page, even from, you know, that initial advert that drives traffic towards the scorecard. We recommend that if you include information about the creator of the scorecard, so it could be yourself, it could be your company, it could be some of the clients you've worked with previously, that all helps so that people know who's created it, and they can associate that with credibility. Testimonials could be used on the landing page, and we recommend that the best practice for those is when they're linked to how the scorecard has helped somebody. So it may be along the lines of, you know, this scorecard was a great starting point to enable me to decide where I needed to focus my efforts. Then if you've got any bonuses, they all work really nicely. So we've got lots of ScoreApp customers who are authors that might give away the book or a download of the book. We have lots of customers who run webinars and might give away tickets to a webinar. So a couple of examples there. And then the call to action is always to take the scorecard. So there's some points to consider. Another great resource when you're building your landing page is to go to Made with ScoreApp. So if you go to product and Made with ScoreApp, we've got some scorecards that have featured here. And these are all really successful examples. And even if you haven't got a concept that's aligned with what you're doing, they can be great just to have a look at for ideas. So one that I like to showcase is the Scale Up and Exit Business Assessment. I like the title. So are you looking to grow, exit, or sell your business? I think it says what it is, what it does. We've got the time investment that you'll receive your instant results here. We've got logos that associate it with trusted by over 10,000 brands. So we start to build that credibility. We have a little screenshot of what they can expect at the end. So you get your PDF report. You can also book in a session should you wish to. And then we've got more information about how it works. So this bit covers what they're going to be measured against and why it's important. We've got information on the categories, and then we've got more information about the CFO Centre as well. So please head to that area should you want more inspiration following this session. Has anyone got any, are they able to pop their link in the chat at all? Or just let us know what the scorecard is called and I can find it and bring it up if they would be happy to share their scorecard with us. Thank you, Mark. Okay, so let's click on here. Can everyone still see my screen? I've lost you there. No, I've stopped sharing. There we go. Fantastic. Right, we good now? Yeah. So your business continuity health check. Find out how resilient your business is to ride out challenging times. Your business continuity health check. Find out how your business is to ride out. Answer 20 questions about your business to discover how well you're financially protected. So I like this part of it. So how well you're financially protected. I think that one really hooks me in, and I wonder if that's got potential for the headline here. Discover your financial protection health score, your business financial protection score. Using ChatGPT, I think, to brainstorm some ideas would be good, but I think that's definitely got some potential in that aspect of it. I do like your business continuity health check, and I think when you read the subheading, find out how resilient your business is to ride out challenging times, I think it does explain it, and obviously then you've got that further information there. What is really great is when you can make that initial headline that real hook. So when people get here, they're like, oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what I need. And it speaks to that desire, which I feel like that desire is about protecting your business financially. So that would be my advice. I really like take the health check. I like that terminology. The health check highlights how your business could be left financially exposed should a business owner or a key person become critically ill or die. The health check highlights how your business could be left. So I would spin that slightly, just to be the why a little bit more, as in, having everything in place. So in the circumstance that you need it, you've got all of your is it the saying, ducks in line? That's it. So just like to make that sort of inspirational, just spinning it a little bit, so it's sort of saying the same thing, but in just using different language. The health chair highlights how business could be, I suppose, using business owner, key person. Okay, and then we're going to talk about ownership, profit, and debt. So it's quite nice to have an idea of what we're going to be measured against there. There's lots of content there. I think that offers the opportunity just to make that briefer. That could be good. What's the benefit? I like that. As part of our professional service and financial advice process, we want to help protect the future of your business. It's important that you're protected should you. So that's really nice. I think that definitely gives the why behind the scorecard. Ready to find out your continuity health check? I'm in, let's go. So I think it looks great. I think if you could maybe, if maybe that hook, there was some alternatives on there, that's definitely what I'd recommend. We haven't got the time investment. Maybe we've got the 20 questions. So maybe highlighting that here, maybe giving them a little bit more about what they can expect. So you'll answer your questions, you'll get your score, you'll get your tailored advice, and just sort of adding to that value in why they should take the scorecard. What's the benefit? And you've got then the opportunity to introduce yourself a little bit here as well, and your expertise. So it's that credibility piece. But thank you so much for sharing it. I really like the concept, and it looks great. So hopefully what I've suggested will just help it further. Anybody else would like to share their scorecards? So we've got replace your salary. So Donnie, that link's not working for me, so I'm just going to see if I can find it here. Oh, that's not how you spell. Okay, so hopefully this is the right one. Let's have a look. Replace your salary with real estate. Are you too dependent on your salary? Answer just 22 questions to receive your dependent score with a tailored action plan. Take the scorecard in under 3 minutes. If we look at the desire there, I think it definitely has that hook. But I think the desire there obviously is to maybe have a passive income as well as your salary, or definitely sort of increase your earning potential without increasing your hours. So again, maybe that one, are you to dependent on Steve, could be there could be some potential in developing that further to be closely aligned with that goal. Answer just 22 questions to receive your dependent score with a tailored action plan. So we're thinking about what we're going to get at the end, how it works. Answer 20 questions so you can improve your financial freedom score. Take this quick. How you rely on. So financial freedom as well, that is one of the desires of a lot of people. And obviously, if you're investing in property and real estate, that is the driver, I think, for a lot of people. So maybe bringing that into the headline as well could be a good suggestion. So this is the why. So we're talking about save you money, pay off debt, increase your financial stability. So that's nice to have all that information in there. I'm guessing these ones are still from the template that you picked up, and then we've got information about you. And that's really nice because you've brought in a bit of your own story there. I like that. I think people will definitely connect with that. Yeah, so I really like it. I think there's absolutely great potential in that concept. So my suggestion would be, again, like just focusing on what they're going to get at the end of it. So in that example I showed you, you could see that they're going to get, you know, their results, their tailored action plan. So just more incentives into what they will get at the end. But yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that one with us. So we're going to move on from landing pages now, and we're going to go back and we're going to look at the questions. So once we've created that landing page and someone clicks start, they're going to start to go through their questions. If you've used the builder, you've chosen template, or you've entered your own, this is the view that you're going to see. And you're going to be able to edit these questions or add questions. I just want to spend a few moments just explaining how the scoring works. So it will add up the total amount of points for each category. So say, for example, in the career goals category, we had 10 points. It will work out what the person taking the quiz scored out of 10. Say, for example, they scored 5 out of 10. It converts that to a percentage. So it says, right, you've scored 50%. And it will decide what score tier you fall into based on the percentage ranges that are entered under results and score tiers. These you'll find are set to default when you come to it, but they can be amended, and you can also change the label. So you might not want to use low, medium and high. You could use, you know, high burnout risk or low burnout risk. So you can tailor those to suit, and you can also add tiers as well. How do you score each question? It depends what question format you're using, but if we go to add a question, you can keep it as simple as yes, no, maybe. If the positive answer, let's just select that question. So for example, if I said, do you sleep more than 8 hours a night? And the person answer it scored yes, so that's the positive answer, they score a point. And for the negative answer, they don't score a point. So it can be as straightforward as just assigning a point to the correct answer. If you're then using sliding scales, and these 3 are all versions of scales, they work slightly differently. So you can decide to make that scale however big you'd like it to be. And that will, so if a 1 to 10 scale will mean that there's 10 points available. And wherever the user places themselves on that scale is how many points they've scored out of a possible 10 as well. And then you've got your multiple choice options. And multiple choice options, you may have, if I ask the question, how many hours sleep a night do you get? And then I had 3 different answer options where it was less than 6. Well, that's a negative answer. I wouldn't give them anything for that. If they said between 7 and 8, I might give them a 1 point. And then if they said 8 hours plus, I'd give them 2 points. So it just goes up with strength of the answer, is how I would sort of approach the scoring initially. I know some of you may have more complex scoring, so please feel free to ask if I can help with any of those scoring related questions. I do often get asked how many questions, and we recommend a different number of questions based on the target audience that you are appealing to. So if it is cold leads, we recommend fewer questions, so around 12 questions. If it's warmer leads, from about 12 to 25. And if it's existing customers, then you could go 25 plus. We recommend that you keep those questions factual, so somebody doesn't have to go off and check anything. So if you ask someone what their phone bill was 3 months ago, they're likely not to remember that information and will need to come back to it. So keep it factual. The questions can be thought-provoking in themselves, and just have those little light bulb moments where somebody thinks, okay, well, no, I don't do that. So even they can sort of add value to the person that's taking the quiz. That leads us on to results. So once someone's gone from the landing page, answered the questions, they will get delivered their result. The first screen that they see is the results page, and this is the output at the starter package. You will have a version already in your list, which you can click on to edit. You can also go to create result page on the top right of the screen if you want to start from scratch with your result page as well. But I'm just going to click to edit. This is the one that the AI setup wizard generated for us earlier. So you can see I've got my overall score here, and it's selected a donut chart. It doesn't have dynamic content up here, but it congratulates me on completing the quiz. And then it's delivered my score in each of the 2 categories. Here, the AI setup wizard has already wrote our dynamic content. So if I scored low, it's given me some suggestions, which may differ from medium or high as well. So this is great because this is fantastic. You know, this can be the element when you're writing the results that takes the greatest amount of time. So this may be a great starting point where you can then really just go in and tailor it to suit you or your program perhaps as well. But that really is best practice in terms of results page, is delivering their scores with some dynamic feedback. So it feels tailored. You're giving them advice relevant to their score. You can then also feature your call to actions. And just like with the landing page here as well, you can go to add a section. If you don't want to deliver it in a donut style, you've got the ability to change it to any of these formats. So just a percentage on its own, spider diagram, speedometer, thermometer, traffic lights. You've got different ways of presenting the categories, so in a list or side by side. And you might want to then start to add content about you might want to add testimonials from your clients at this stage, because don't forget the results page is the chance to sort of showcase that you understand where they are and show how you can help them. Whereas the landing page is all about the value in taking the scorecard. The results page is all about, this is how we can help you. It works in the same way as the landing page. You can move sections around. You can completely customize all the sections with your own branding and your own logo. So every section, you'll have that styling option where you can choose your colors and change sizes, etc. And then we just need to save that. And that is your results page. So if you're on the starter package, that will be then, if you go to your results email, it will be, you can link to it so that they get to keep it and refer back to it. If you don't want the results email to come from ScoreApp, you can switch that off and you can push your results links across into your CRM should you want to. And if you're on the advanced package, you also will have the PDF feature. So it may be that your results page becomes a snapshot and you say, you know, your full PDF has been emailed to you, and then you can go and create your PDF on the platform. So the AI setup wizard doesn't generate the PDF reports, but you can select. I always recommend starting with a blank template. And then once you open up the editor, I'm just going to very briefly show you the pages that would be available. So you can choose from a number of front covers. We've got general content pages which suit intros and outros. Then you might want to display their overall score. You might want to display a summary of their category scores, but then you can start delving into the individual categories. So you might have a page to describe the category, and then you might have a tips to improve your low score, for example. And all of those pages can be dynamic. You can include all your call to actions as well. And you can make this document as big or as small and as detailed as you wish to. So just wanted to give you a little bit of insight into that PDF feature. And then on your results email, you would add the report button merge field. Does anybody have a results page that they're willing to share with us? I might just mark if it's like, is it okay if I just jump into your results page? Because that was the first example that we looked at. I don't know if you're with us, Mark. It was the Feel Financial. Tiffany, you've just asked, is there a way to upload your own PDF results if you already have one created? As long as it's in one of your, if you add a section on your results page, a call to action section, and in the button link, it's a hosted link for your PDF, then yes, absolutely, you can pop that into there and they can access that from the results page. Okay, so I am going to, I think actually we've had a good look at the results page from the one that the AI has generated. Unless anyone else is happy for me to bring up their results page, we'll move on to talk about the promotion side of things. Okay, let's do that. So promotion, we are going to go back to my slides now. Here we go. So now we've created a great scorecard. We now need to talk about the strategy of promoting it. So there's a number of suggestions here. We've also got a great document called 29 different ways to promote your scorecard. So Sarah's going to share that link. So if you haven't come across that before and you wouldn't mind and you want to take a look at that, that really does cover in detail all the ways that we would suggest promoting your scorecard. And here's some sort of top line suggestions for you. So include it in your website banner, embed it onto your website. And we do get asked that, how do I include it on my website? We have actually, if we come back to the platform here and we go to share, it gives you some options of how you can embed it on your website. So you'll find that information there. Having it on your email signature. And I've got an example of that here actually. So this is Mike from Dent Global, and he's got a link to the scorecard on his email signature. So that's a really nice to have. Sorry, I've sent my slides. Skipping. You can direct message it to people. So I know, you know, LinkedIn, for example, if there was an opportunity there, you can send your scorecard link to them. If you've got an existing database, emailing the link to your existing database is a great idea. Sharing it on your socials, so you can post about it on your socials, you can include it in the link for all your social profiles, but you could also use it as the call to action on other posts that you do. So even if you're posting about something unrelated, don't forget, you know, take the scorecard or posting it in the comments afterwards is useful. If you do any podcasts or blogs, scorecards work really nicely in that area. I know a lot of our customers who do podcasts, they might feature that as a call to action during the podcast. So just ask people to pause it, take a few moments to go and complete it, or following the podcast. It's a great way of trying to sort of captivate that audience. Books, a lot of our customers are authors, and they will post the link for the scorecard in their book. So again, trying to, understand and who's reading their books, generate those leads. Scorecards always work really nicely for events and workshops as well. So you would have used a scorecard to register for this session, Set Up and Score. It may be that you could also use it during an event or after an event to gather feedback. So it's a useful way to use a scorecard. I'm going to talk about joint venture partnerships first, because that's another organic method. But if you have that opportunity to create that joint venture where you can leverage someone else's list, for example, and there's that mutual exchange, we've also seen lots of success with driving traffic throughout that method. So they're mostly organic methods, and then you've got paid for advertising as well, whichever sort of where your target audience, your social channels, it might be YouTube, Google, Facebook, Instagram. So, where your target audience profile tends to lie, that could be an option. I've got an example of Daniel Priestley from Dent, and he's posting his scorecard on LinkedIn. I've got an example here of a book where a bookmark is actually developed as well to go with the book, which drives traffic towards the scorecard. So that covers our sort of promotion side of things. And again, if anyone wants to ask any questions, please feel free to do so. Just before we go to questions, I just want to spend some time just showing you that once you've got that strategy to drive traffic, you've got the scorecard, it's that final piece of the puzzle, which is the follow-up. And what we recommend is if we come back to the platform, we will see this integrate feature, and you can integrate with a number of CRM systems. So we've got a number of direct options, but we also offer Zapier as well. So if your CRM isn't listed here, it more than likely is possible via Zapier. Once you've connected with your CRM, it will open up some options for you to map across. So you can push across the lead form details, and you can also push across the scores, the result links, and that allows you to create tailored follow-up sequences. We have a great blog article that will help you write those sequences. We've got some email template suggestions. So Sarah will share that link for you in the chat as well, which is another great resource that you can leverage. And then let's go and have a little look at the data that we can also gather. So this is the data that we will see under this insights section here. This is on the advanced level, and on the slides, I've just got a little example of one of the aspects of this. It does give you some aggregate data, so some little donut charts, and this covers how everyone across the scorecard has answered, and these make great social posts in themselves. So they can be leveraged for content. So in this example, do you have a business already? 45% of everyone that's taken the scorecard said, yeah, it's up and running. And when we talked earlier about the event scorecard, if you were running, that gives you a great snapshot of, okay, 45% of people are in this position, so you know exactly how to pitch the right solution there as well. This is across all of the packages, but this is an example of once somebody's taken the scorecard, this is how they've answered each of the questions. And if you, for example, this is based on Dent Global. I'm sure a lot of you might know Daniel Priestley from Dent. This is where ScoreApp was born, the idea of ScoreApp, because he wrote his Key Person of Influence book, wanted to find out more about people reading his book, he built a bespoke scorecard, which is we then founded ScoreApp, so we could provide that kind of software and make it more accessible to lots more businesses. But one of the great ways he uses the data that he collects is that he has a team of appointment setters. So 48 hours after they've taken the scorecard, that appointment setter will have these questions and answers, and they use the seesaw technique. So they say something that they've scored really well on, and then they just say, we notice your biggest opportunity is this area here. And it just makes that conversation a lot warmer. So if you're going to pick up the phone, rather than just, saying, can I have a few minutes of your time? It's like, hi, I've noticed you've taken the scorecard. Have you got a few minutes to talk about your results? So people are just more receptive to that conversation because it's warmer. So that's a good way of leveraging the data there as well. So that's really a run through of all of how to build a scorecard, how to launch a scorecard, some ideas for following up your scorecard as well. Does anybody have any questions that I can help with? But I just wanted to open up the floor, and sort of anything technical, anything to do with the concept, please just feel free to take your mic off and let me know. How many of us we've got here today? If there's no questions, I often think that I might have covered everything. Yeah. Can the scorecard be used in another language? Yes, you can. So you can input your desired language and create the scorecard. Absolutely. You can clone scorecards. If you had an English version, you could clone it, so you've got all the design aspects of it, and then you just input your different language. Any other questions?
Yeah, Leigh, can you switch question types once you've created a question? So if you've gone and created your questions and you've used question type, like select, you've used a linear question and you realize that was incorrect, you need to go back and change those questions. Are you able to switch question types, or do you have to recreate the question?
Do you have to recreate the question, just because, for example, if it's multiple choice, the formats are so different that it does require you to type it in again, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions I can help with?
Hi Leigh, it's David Griffiths.
Hi David, you okay?
I'm well.
Did that get? Oh, not fully.
I'm starting from a blank page, quite literally. So I'm hoping that your templates also have process in them.
Okay.
So is that, do the templates sort of step you through a process that you can at least start with, and then you can learn as you go and perhaps tune or amend to suit? Is that how this works?
Yes. So what's your do you have any ideas for your concept for your school?
Well, I have a business which is in property effectively, so I'm looking to identify and to motivate and encourage investors. That's the premise.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do that in a not that subtle a way, but just say, give me your money.
Yeah. Well, the good news is we do have a property investment template on the platform. So you could either use the AI setup wizard, and that's going to give you like a really good, base for the scorecard. You're going to have, your landing page, your questions, your results page, which you could just go in and tweak and just add to that landing page. So you could go down that route, or you could select the property investment template that we already have on the platform and then just go in and make your edits.
Right.
One area that's really good, if you want to go through a bit more step by step, when you come to each element, if you go to home, there is a courses section here, and it includes little videos.
Okay.
for each element. So as you're creating the landing page, you could just watch that video. If you need help on your lead form, you could watch that video as well. So I'd recommend having a look at that.
Great. Okay, I'll point a clever person to it so they can learn and do it for me.
Yes, yeah, all that. But we're here as a support
You busy
team.
this afternoon?
Yeah. I make scorecards day in, day out, and we do offer an additional setup service. So if anybody does want us to do that for you, the prices start from £295 for a basic setup. So you'd be more than welcome to email us, and we can talk about that further.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a joke, but that you probably have got to say.
Yeah, just drop that in there. Thank you very much. Okay, any further questions? Fab. Guys, we also have, the last thing I want to mention before we go and finish up for today is, you haven't already joined the Facebook community. That's a great place to people share their scorecards, ask for feedback, see what others are doing. So I'd suggest that you join the Facebook community. We have a referral scheme. So if anybody is interested in being part of that, under your account and referrals, you'll find a unique code, which once somebody signs up using your unique code, you can receive up to 22% of what they spend for 12 months. And they will also benefit from a 30-day trial as well. So we'd love you to be part of that if that was of interest. And then we have a fantastic support team at ScoreApp. So we've got a live chat feature. Sarah's waving. A live chat feature. We have got, you can email our help desk, and you can book in a call with us at any time as well. So if you want any feedback or any help, just please do reach out to us, and we're more than happy to help. Lovely. It's finished 3 minutes early. Maybe you'll all have a chance to have a cup of tea now before your next activity. But thank you so much for joining us. Great to see you all. Have a fantastic rest of the day.
Thank
Bye.
you very much.